So since brokerage is so much important, what is the criteria
Mhm.
for agents to choose a brokerage? We cannot say every broker is excellent.
No, it depends on basically what I have noticed is as new agents, the main thing is training because you don't know, right? So it's same as I remember, like I have IT background, right? I was 18 years, I was in IT. So the first day I did I finished my course. First day I joined my job. I didn't know anything. I had to call my friend and say, hey, how do I change a video card in a computer? So you don't know. Practical is very different than what you're learning in theory. So what you would need to do is it's important to find a place where they would actually do training. Most brokerages will say they have training, but they don't have new agent training. Most brokerages don't. So that's a question you want to ask. What does your new agent training look like? Right. So what we do in our brokerage, for example, would be so when a new person comes in, there's a few courses you have to do, like online modules and stuff. Once they do that, then I sit down with the agent and I take you through, like for example, Calgary's Pillar 9 in Edmonton, it's Paragon. That's our MLS system. How to use the system, how to find listings, how to send out emails to your prospective clients. So I would go through that type of training with the agent, even though you do that at the board, but you forget everything when it actually comes to like when you have a client or buyer who's looking for a place, like you don't know how to do that search. So I would do that search, or if somebody's doing a listing, then I would go over all the requirements to list a property, and then they would enter the information. And even entering the information, there's a lot of questions that you would have. So I do this one on one with each new person or each new agent as they are entering the listing. So there's a lot of this, and then what paperwork is the paperwork signed properly, right? All the contracts, the which documents do you need to get signed? What do you need to put into those documents? That training. So there's a lot of this stuff. So when a brokerage says they do training, what they're talking about is like marketing training or this other kind of training where how to use the tools that they have. So it's not always the right training for a new real estate professional. So there's a bit of a nuance or a difference in there. So that's what we really like. My biggest thing would be that, right? So what kind of training is provided by the brokerage? So if they say, yeah, we provide great training, okay, so let's like ask them for examples of what kind of training do they provide, right? And then if you are going through, let's say you need to list a property, what is the process around that, right? Is somebody going to sit down with you and show you how to list the property? If you're going to do a showing, like oh, what do you need to do, right? Like how are you going to, so is somebody going to help you with that? So those type of questions. So you need to, it's new. Like for me, training will be the biggest one because that's where I think most brokerages kind of struggle with. After that, then the commission splits will be the next one. What are the fees? What are the commission splits? So those two would be the main thing. How fast can you get a hold of your broker? Can you call them when you're in the middle of a negotiation? You need to ask questions. Or who do you call, right? If you have questions, if you don't know how to respond to the other agent that you're working with, how to respond to the client, seller, buyer, that type of stuff. So that's where, so availability of the broker or somebody who is available to answer your questions, the training, and then the split. So those are some of the things that I would ask about.